All right, ChatGPT. On today's episode of the Mike Check Yourself show, I'm going to be talking about tax season and why it's a scam and how the government wants to keep you broke. What do you say about this?
Well, Mike, if taxes were an app, they'd definitely have a one-star review. Too complicated, takes all your money, and crashes your dreams.
Let's go. Oh, welcome into the Mike Check Yourself show. This is your host, Legacy Mike. This is the show for the misfits, the unemployable, the entrepreneurs, the people who don't care about getting sent to the principal's office, the people that don't care about getting written up by HR because we're entrepreneurs and we do what we want in life. To a certain degree, right? So we're going to say things on this show that are controversial. We're going to talk about spicy topics. We're going to keep it PG-13. We're going to have a great time doing it. Guys, I'm really excited to talk about the subject today because taxes, they're a complete scam. And I want to talk about why they're a scam and what you can do to win the game, or at least do your best to try and win the game. So we're going to start the show off with what I call open mic. Picture we're in a comedy club. I'm going to joke around, have fun. I'm going to open up the show. So feel free to throw tomatoes at me by commenting below on something controversial from this episode that you find interesting. I'll do my best to respond to you, and maybe I'll even answer your question live on my next show. So open mic, taxes are a scam, right? How many of you guys out there get tax refunds? Like, what a joke, you know? The government gets an interest-free loan on your money for the entire year, and you get the money back and you think you've won? Silly guys, they just borrowed money from you guys for free for a year. Crazy. So getting a tax refund is not something you want to do. It's not enjoyable. While most of you guys will go out and buy something stupid with your tax refund, it'll be gone 2 seconds after you get it. You know what? I was one of those victims back when I worked a W-2 job. My wife and I, every tax season, we would always find something stupid to spend our money on. One year, I remember we spent our taxes on buying a puppy, which I guess it's not stupid, but it's just one of those things. Like, who does that? You know, like, who's like, oh, I want to wait for my taxes to come in so I can buy a puppy, or I want to wait for my taxes to come in so I can buy a pair of shoes or this thing that I want. It's silly, guys. So silly. Did you know that 50% of millennials actually depend on their tax refund to not only buy things that are cool, but to actually cover expenses? Crazy. Like, they are like, I can't wait to get my tax refund so I can pay my bills. How crazy is that, guys? So silly. We need to stop this in America. We need to stop relying on the government to help us and relying on our tax refund to come and magically save our day. Did you know that on average, most people actually overpay on their taxes to the tune of $1.5 billion in unclaimed funds that the IRS gets to keep every year? Isn't it silly? Like, I feel like the tax system is like this weird game of like the Hunger Games or Squid Games or something like that, where it's like they don't tell you the expectations. You don't really know what's going on. You feel like you're in survival mode. They don't tell you, despite them saying that they know how much money that you make. They're like, you know what? Why don't you go ahead and figure it out, and you tell us how much you think you owe, and then we'll tell you 2 years later that you're wrong with penalties and interest. How crazy is that? I got a letter in the mail the other day for a tax refund from 2022 for $3,000 for them saying that my accountant didn't file it correctly or didn't file it on time. And now they're letting me know almost 3 years later that it was filed incorrectly. Of course, with penalties and interest. And now I got to fight the IRS and I got to try and get them to remove it. And I've got to pull all the strings. And it's just crazy. You know, like, why couldn't you have told me way back when it was just a small fee or a small inconvenience and I could have taken care of it? No, they want to bury you. They want to cripple you. Or maybe they're just so unorganized and they don't know what the hell they're doing. But if they're so unorganized and they don't know what they're doing, how come they're waiting for you to tell them what you think you owe, and then they're telling you multiple years later that it's actually not right? It blows my mind, guys. It makes no sense. And then on top of that, they take all this money and they funnel it to other countries, like sending money over to Ukraine for gender studies. Like, it's just madness, guys. Like, what do we do about this? I feel like we should form our own little army and be like, you know what? We're not paying taxes anymore. Like, I feel like we need to do some Boston Tea Party shit and like get everybody together and be like, no more. Like, you're not taxing us anymore. You're not taking our money. But unfortunately, that's not going to happen in today's day and age. You unfortunately just have to pay your taxes. So what are some ways that you can mitigate your taxes? We're going to talk about that. So now we're going to move to the next segment of the show. It's called Is This Thing On? We're going to debunk the tax myth. We're going to talk about, is this actually on? Are there ways that we can mitigate taxes? Are there ways that we can actually win in this? Or are we just ultimately screwed? We're going to find out at the end of this segment. So think about this, guys. The tax system was created for the W-2 employee. It's where they get the majority, the overwhelming majority of their money every single year. And it's crazy because they know exactly how much money you make, and they can tell you down to the penny how much you've set aside for taxes, and they can tell you if you get a refund or not. They get to hold your money for the whole year. They give you a refund. You get the refund and you think that you're winning. It's a trap, guys. They made you think that you're winning. On top of that, they make you do all the work. They make you hire an accountant. They make you pay for all the forms. They make you do all the legwork of categorizing things, figuring out your income and all that stuff. Still, for them to tell you that you might be wrong. How crazy is it? And they might say things like, well, that's just how it's done. There's no other way to do it. But the crazy part is there's other countries out there that do it the exact opposite way. Like, America is just so backwards sometimes. I think it's the greatest nation in the world, but my gosh, sometimes it's just crazy. It feels like the system is rigged against you. And the last thing I'm going to say about the refund myth is that they make it seem like they're almost doing you a favor. Like, you get the e-file and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm getting $2,000 back on my taxes. Like, thank God, this is so amazing. Like, how awesome is the IRS that they're giving me this money back? They're giving you the money that you've already paid on top of all the taxes that you've already paid. They're giving you a small portion back. Stop acting like you're winning because you're getting a refund. So is this thing on? The tax system, is it a scam? 100% it is. 100%. This thing is definitely not on. The tax system in America is a scam, and here's what you need to do about it. So we're going to move on to the next segment of the show, which is called Just the Tips, because there's only so much I could give you. I'm just going to give you the tip, and that's all. And hopefully it's enough to satisfy you. So here's some tips. What are some things that you can do to hopefully mitigate your taxes or act like a billionaire does and not pay taxes legally? I'm going to go ahead and tell you. Here's where most people in America can win. You don't have to have a billion-dollar company to take advantage of a lot of tax breaks. You should start your own business. There's a lot of tax advantages to starting your own business. There's expenses that you can take on. There's deductions that you can take on. Things like having a home office, things like your vehicle expenses, things like meals that you can deduct. Now, you have to have specific reasons for those things. And I'm not telling you to break the tax law. I'm not an attorney. I'm not a tax advisor. But these are just things that my attorneys and my tax advisors have helped me do. So there are a lot more benefits to owning a business when it comes to taxes. There's also ways that you can structure your business, like becoming an S corporation and treating it like a true corporation and paying yourself as an employee and taking on owner distributions, so all of your income isn't earned income. Taxes are all dependent on how the money is moved and how things are transferred and what type of income it is. You're going to pay the most money in taxes when it's earned income, when it's W-2 income. So what you do is you have what's called an S corporation, and you pay yourself a reasonable and fair salary of what would be paid in the market for that role. So let's say you pay yourself $75,000 a year to run your business. Anything that you pay yourself above that $75,000 becomes what's called an owner distribution, and that is taxed more favorably than earned income on your W-2. So check with your accountant on that, but that's one thing that you can do. If you have a job right now and you don't want to start your own business, I think you're making a big mistake, but let's just say that you're not. There's certain things that you can do. You can adjust your withholdings. You can tell the government, I don't want you to withhold as much money throughout the year. Here's the thing, guys. Why does the government take more of your money and give you a refund at the end? Because they don't trust you. They don't trust that you're actually going to budget the right amount of money for your taxes, and then you're going to be broke by the end of the year and you're not going to have the money to pay it. So they take more than they think, and then they give you a refund and they make it seem like they're doing you a favor. But here's the thing. I don't want to give the government an interest-free loan. I'm going to adjust my withholding to where I know that I'm paying the right amount throughout the year, And I'm going to plan it so I don't get a refund because I want to keep my money so I can grow my business, I can feed my family, I can do fun things, and then I want to basically break even at the end of the year. I don't want to owe money and I don't want to get a refund. That can be difficult to calculate. So if you have a business and you have expenses, you should do quarterly estimate payments, and you should work with a good tax accountant who understands your business, understands the deductions, understands things that you can do to mitigate your taxes. Now, again, I don't claim to be an expert in this, so I told you guys I'm only going to give you the tip. I can't give you the whole thing. I highly recommend that you reach out to a tax accountant to figure some of this stuff out. But here's some of the things that I've also done to mitigate my taxes. Things like Section 179 for buying a vehicle or buying a piece of heavy equipment for your business. In a lot of instances, allows you to write off the full cost of that vehicle in the first year. Here's where all the tax accountants and all the people are going to come. They're going to make videos. They're going to stitch this video and say that this is bullcrap. That's fine. I encourage you to do it. But there are ways where you can go out and buy a vehicle. There's ways where you can buy equipment. There's ways that you can buy necessary things for your business and depreciate and get bonus depreciation or accelerated depreciation and actually take that against your business income. So if your tax bill is $20,000 and you go out and you're able to deduct 5,000 off of that because of an expense you take on, well, that's just less money that you're giving to the government and more money that you can put in your pocket to grow your business and grow your wealth over time. Now, there's going to be times where you have to recapture that money, and there's going to be, you have to pay taxes on the gains and all that stuff. But that's a good thing because you're going out, you're growing your business, you're growing your income, and I'm okay to pay the taxes later when I have more money coming in. So here's another tip that my wife and I actually personally did this year. We invested a lot of money into our 401k. As the owner of a business, you're able to do two things. You're able to invest in you're able to invest in the 401k as an employer and an employee. So some of you guys that have had W-2 jobs before, they have what's called a 401k match in the company. This is actually a tax deduction for that business. So what you can do is, because you own 100% of the business and you're an employee in the business because you're paying yourself a W-2 salary, you can contribute from your W-2 and as the employer. So you can actually double dip on that. Get with a good retirement specialist. They're going to be able to help you with that. And it just feels a little bit better because you're going to be able to get a tax deduction on the money. It's not a one for one. I think for us, it saved us about 30 or 35,000 in taxes this year. But we were able to put a considerable amount of money into our 401k and build wealth for the future. If we never touch that money again, it's going to be a lot of money when we're ready to retire. So get with a good retirement specialist, somebody that can help you, a good tax accountant. They'll be able to tell you what the right number is of how much to contribute, how much to keep, how much to invest. That's another tip for you guys. Invest in a retirement account. And finally, I'm just going to say it because it's the most obvious thing. You're just going to have to pay taxes. Like I said at the beginning of the show, there's only two things that are guaranteed in life. It's death and taxes. So what do you do about it? So go out and make money. Take control of your life, and when you have to pay that tax bill, it won't feel as bad. Although this year it hurt for us pretty bad. So we're going to move on to the final segment of the show. This is the mic drop moment. This is where I hit you with my final thoughts. I drop the mic. I tell you what you need to do and tell you how to win and dominate in your life. So mic drop moment. The only thing that's guaranteed in life, death and taxes. You're going to have to pay it. So stop giving the IRS an interest-free loan. Stop paying them more than you actually owe and getting a refund. And you know what? Let's try and band together somehow so that we don't have to pay taxes. Like maybe it's Trump. Maybe Trump's going to save the day. Maybe he's going to help us not pay taxes. I doubt it. We're always going to have to pay taxes. But you know what? Let's try and do something together. So here's a mic drop moment for you guys. Stop getting a refund. It's a joke. It's a scam. It's not here to help you. It's not here to save your day. And when you get that refund, stop buying stupid shit that you don't need. Stop wasting that money. Take that money, invest it in your business, invest it in yourself, invest it in things that are going to help you grow and bring you true and real happiness, not stupid stuff from Amazon and stupid stuff that you don't need. Mic drop moment. You know what? I'm not sorry that I'm offending you guys because I'm telling you the truth and I'm telling you where I used to be trapped and I'm telling you how to get out of that trap. Don't trade 20 minutes of happiness for real joy in your life. Mic drop moment. Figure out what's important to you and go all in on that. Another mic drop moment. If you know the rules and you know how to play the system and play the game, take advantage of it. What's the difference between you and a billionaire? They just have $1 billion and you don't. They follow the same tax code as you, though. Jeff Bezos has the same tax code as me. He's following the same rules. People will get all pissy and be like, these billionaires, they don't pay their fair share. They're following the same tax code as you. People talk about all these loopholes and these magical things that these billionaires are doing. Guys, it's the same tax code that you're following. They don't get a separate tax code because they're a billionaire. They just have the resources and the money to hire good accountants, hire good attorneys, figure all these rules out. Here's what you can do about it. You can go out and hire an attorney and you can hire a tax accountant to help you figure this stuff out. You don't need billions of dollars to do that. Here's another thing you can do. I got my friend here, ChatGPT. I actually named him Alex. I told Alex to help me play like he's a tax accountant and an attorney and to simulate, and I gave him all of my expenses. I gave him how much money I was going to earn, all of that stuff. And ChatGPT actually recommended things that I do to save money on taxes. So you can use AI to your advantage. You can use ChatGPT as your tax accountant. That is not legal advice. That is not tax advice, guys. But you can use it to at least gather information and then take that to your accountant or your attorney and save money on attorney bills. Another mic drop moment. It's okay to trade dollars for a good tax accountant or a good attorney to help you save on taxes, especially if you're in a high income tax bracket. If you are making good money, guys, make sure you have a good legal team and a good tax team on your side, because I did it for years and I just kept like wondering, oh my gosh, is everything done correctly? Am I doing this right? And at the end of the day, we got it all cleaned up. We got a really good accountant and it brought me so much peace of mind. So if you don't have a good accountant, message me. I got a couple of referrals. I don't get paid anything to refer people. I just want you guys to win and I want you to succeed. I want you to stop making stupid mistakes and I want you to keep the money that you've worked so hard for this year. So with that, tax season is wrapping up. For those of you that are excited to get a tax refund, don't do it again next year. Mitigate your taxes as much as possible and also adjust your withholdings so they're not getting an interest-free loan with you for the whole year. Take control of your life, go out and get what you want, invest in what truthfully matters, keep your money, and realize that the tax system is a complete scam. And you know what? Sometimes we're just not going to be able to do anything about it. It's not like the Boston Tea Party. It's not like this hostile takeover. It just is what it is, man. They're going to blow our money. The government's going to spend it on something stupid. Hopefully Trump will do a better job than Biden and not spend our money on stupid stuff. But it is what it is, man. Tax season is among us. Go file your taxes. If you don't file, you're going to freaking jail. So file your taxes. Get them done on time so you don't pay penalties and interest. Stop giving the government more money than they need, because I would rather keep that money. And you know what? If you have extra money that you want to give away, just send it to me. I'll send you my address. You can just send me the check in the mail. That's the Mike Check Yourself show. Very excited for tax season. I'm actually not. I freaking hate taxes, but we're going to go ahead and do this and we're going to win together. So if you need anything, comment below. I just may answer your question on the next show. Let's go.